Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome. You guys are in. Hit the like button so we can have a favor from the algorithm and we can have more people coming into the live. It's going to be a short live, it's going to be in English. So, because we go into the one in Spanish in a short moment. If you have any comments, please come on, have some comments, some questions, and I'm gonna answer for you right now. Thank you very much for the guy that pressed the like button. Now we have 3, now we have 8 coming in. For those guys that love the channel, I want to support the channel. We're trying to make this live for you with very limited time that we have. Go ahead and hit me gusta, a like, 10. 5 people have hit the like button. Let's go have some more. And if you can tell me where you're from, and hello Chico, this is Mark Cleveland. Mark Cleveland, you always making comments in our channel, so I thank you very much for that. Thank you for always participating. Guys, hit the like button. Go ahead, you take just a second, hit the like button. We're going to be answering questions for a few minutes. And for those that are new to the channel, my name is Chico Lopez, and I'm an expert on American Pit Bull Terriers. I'm an educator, and I'm a person that's working very hard to promote the positive image of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So, Lopez line, velvet and steel. You can say that I never thought about having a line per se. That was not one of the things that I ever thought about. It just happened naturally, you know. But yes, it really is. And the terminology, you know, it was from nothing to here. Eduardo Valenzuela, buen día, Chico. El Paso, Texas. I've been to El Paso, you know, I went to El Paso maybe 4 times. And 2 of those times was going to New Mexico. And I drove from Houston. That's a long drive, man. From Houston just to El Paso, I think it was about 8 hours. I remember it was kind of weird. You go in that freeway and it's like if you go lower than 85 miles an hour, you get a ticket or something like that. It was insane. Beautiful. And you drive for miles and miles. And it's not as green as the rest of Texas. But it's very nice, a nice drive. It's different, you know. So thank you very much for the comment. Hey, Chico, is the reason why your dogs are mostly no white? I don't understand the question, to be honest with you. I don't have white dogs. My dogs are all red nose. From time to time, I have a buckskin. And, of course, I have love for the buckskin dogs that are related to my program. The relationship between buckskin dogs and those dogs is, red dogs is very similar, but no white dogs. South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. I've been there many times. Many times. It used to be one of my favorite fishing spots when I lived in the United States. Going to South and North Carolina, pretty good guys at the time. You know, it looks like the world went by and some of those guys still around. They didn't get any better, just they there, you know, same way they were before. I think their dogs are not as good as they used to be, but the same idea, same concept. 13 people, 7 likes. Guys, I'm gonna kindly ask you to please go to the like section and hit the like button if you don't mind doing that for us, for the algorithm. Thank you so much for the person. 8 of them went there already. That's a pretty good number. 13 here and 8, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I don't make these lives all the time, so I didn't expect to have a large crowd, but for those that are here, thank you very much for coming. And what else? So if you guys have any questions or any comments, you're more than welcome. 9, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. You know, we're so far away. You know, you're in all the way in the United States. Some of you guys are in North Carolina, South Carolina. We're all the way in Brazil. We used to live in Brasilia. We're now in Bahia. And it's beautiful out here. It is beautiful. I thought I was in heaven when I was in Brasilia, but now in Bahia, I love it. And other places near Brasilia, near Bahia, are very, very nice. See, Brasilia is in the middle of nowhere, okay? and Bahia is in next to everything. So, it's beautiful. I also like South Brazil, of course, a lot. So, it's beautiful. 10 people gave me gusta. I like it. And it's only 12 people here, so that's a very good ratio right there. I love ratios, I love percentages, I like numbers, and that's a good number. So who else is here? Where are you from? Tony Vega says, hello Chico. Love from Miami. Miami, beautiful place. I was supposed to be in Miami. I was supposed to be going to Miami. In Miami, you have an event coming in with boxing. You have Chico Lopez, and you have the Trailer, people from Trailer. I was supposed to be there, and you know, for some reason, I'm not going there now. I'm going to be going somewhere else. Got some business I got to take care of, and I'm going to be missing that event. Although I would love to be there, but I'm here right now, and I'm happy to be here with you guys and share a little bit of time and interact and connect with you guys. We said we were going to do these. The people in Spanish, I think they're expecting me right now, so we said we are going to do these a little bit. So we're trying to have a different model in terms of my approach towards people that come here. Love from Maryland. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maryland. Appreciate you very much. I couldn't read your name. The messages come in and pop go away. I have 4 phones, and right now the only one I have this one right here, but I'm waiting for other phones are being charged, and I'll be able to read more some of the messages. It'll stay a little bit longer on the phone. So, if you have any questions, you have any comments, if you have questions about my dogs, that'll be beautiful. I would love to talk about my dogs. It says here, really appreciate your honesty to many fake people these days. Thank you for keeping it real. This is Justin from Texas. Oh, Justin. Thank you very much, my friend. Keeping it real is sometimes expensive. Expensive for business. When you keep it real for business, it's very expensive. Because when you keep it real, there are people that want to do business, but they want to keep it their way. And when you keep it real, it's not easy. Core War, look at that. Greetings from Croatia. Croatia, beautiful country. I was in Croatia, maybe about 17 years ago. But last year, or was it this year? This year, I've been to twice to Montenegro. Beautiful country, Montenegro and Croatia. They got these beautiful mountains. The mountains are like, oh my God, it's so unbelievable. I mean, you can go from being almost at sea level and you just take off, go up in those mountains. It reminds me of California when you're going from the East Coast to the West Coast, and the mountains right by California. Beautiful thing. A little different in terms of the mountainside and the scenery. They're both beautiful. I will say that I like the Balkan countries very, very much. Beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful people. Do you know something about pit bulls from Croatia and Serbia? Yes, I know very well. Of course, yes, I do. I know the old school and I know the new school. I know the guys. I know the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been there a few times. Of course, most people only know if I lost or something. That's how life is. But I do very well. The Great Kennels. What's up, Chico Lopez? Everything is great, my friend. Doing amazing. Doing super. Doing spectacular. Having so much time. Went to the beach. Had a tremendous time. Wanted to stay there a little longer, but family didn't want to stay there, so I had to turn back around. Come here. Answer some messages, some emails. I got a trip coming up soon, and got to do some COVID testing and stuff for my trip. But I'm very happy. I'm extremely happy. Flying out of Brazil is very difficult, and flying back into Brazil is extremely difficult, especially because of the COVID testing. How is COVID in your country? Is it pretty tough? Is it pretty hard? How is it COVID in your place? And how is that affecting your life? Grand Champion King, Grand Champion Dente, yes. Yes. Many dogs, many Grand Champions in the old school, yes. I know those guys there. We made Grand Champion Atos in Montenegro recently. Grand Champion Atos, really very, very nice dog. The Balkans used to be one of the powerhouses with dogs for a long time. At least for a good 10 years. I had a tremendous run. I got some videos recently from some people that had some dogs. Just made it 2 Grand Champions there, and what I got, I didn't like it at all. Thank you, Chico, for all your hard work and dedication. Oscar, thank you so much. I appreciate that. These kind of things when I get these messages, they mean a lot to me. I want you to know that, Oscar. Of course, and it's just a thing of society. You have one hater saying one thing, and it's like, oh, I want to shock the hater sometimes. And I used to go through those motions, right? Like I want to shock the hater, and then that feeling kind of goes away, and they're there, and all of a sudden the love starts to come in just like this, and now you're in a different mood, and you want to go forward and do great things. Hello, Mr. Lopez. Hello, Mr. Chico Lopez. I love all your American Pit Bull Terriers. Pray for your success. Beautiful. I appreciate you so much. The messages come in here very fast and they go away, so I really can see all your name. But my wife should be walking here pretty soon with my phones, and I'll be able to read these. Guys, do me a favor. We're 16 on this little group right here, which I thank you so much for being in the group. And we would like you to hit the like button so we can get more people coming in. It looks like the algorithm works like that. Send out messages. ABC Dog, whatever kind of, congratulations for the work. The ABC Dog channel admires Chico Lopez. Thank you so much for my contribution to American Pit Bull Terrier. Wow, tremendous contribution. It's insane, I remember, and I told this story the other day. Victor Eckhart, that was in 1992, 93. A friend of mine's at the time lived in Connecticut. Gets a call from Victor Eckhart. He says, listen, I heard about this guy, Chico Lopez. He's young, and he wants to have some Mayday dogs. And they told me he's getting dogs from a lot of good people, but he's kind of crazy. I don't know if it's true what they say, but they say he walks his dogs till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And said, you can go anywhere, any time of the weekend, you'll find him working. So I got his address. I want you to go there and check to see if this guy really working. He's puppies. And so he show up, and he's ringing, knocking the bell in my house up in the Bronx, New York, 196th Street, and Valentine Avenue near the Grand Concourse. And I mean, it's crazy times at the time, this is the hood in the Bronx. And it was incredible. The guy show up, and the answer say, you looking for Chico? Oh, Chico's not here. Chico's at the park. You got to go to the park. And I said, what park? He said, you walk the street, go over the Concourse, and this is park there. You see him with a whole bunch of dogs. The guy went there and everything, and then they didn't have cell phones at the time. We only had beepers, There was no cell phones. But then later on, we got to talk to Victor through emails, and he's like, man, I'm impressed. You're so young and so dedicated. I'm willing to work with you and have, sell you some really great dogs. And that's how Victor and I started working with the dogs. I kind of earned that because my dedication to the breed was insane. I mean, young guy. First time I saw a purebred was in the 90s, whatever it was, Danny's yard, now in a video store. The videos the messages go away, so I'm waiting for Thais to bring me the telephone, but thank you so much for the message. I'm going to read it back, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. And we are on 22 and 16. Guys, take a look at the number. We're 16 likes, 22 people. Let's please go back and hit the like button, and you will help me very much to get the video going. And yes, I will read your story in a little bit about New Jersey. I think you say you're New Jersey. You mentioned the name of Danny. So anyhow, thank you very much. And it was unbelievable. It was some very enduring times, because I really loved it when I was walking the dogs so late. My mind kept on going. I was, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of television, and I discovered that Leonardo da Vinci, I like paintings, I like the stuff, of course. This is my Mona Lisa right here. I didn't do it, a friend of mine did it. But I like paintings, I like artists, I like people that are smart. I like to study about them, the intelligence. My first generation ADBA, APBT was from Car's Miss Pac-Man. Okay. And so the Da Vinci spent some time when he was a kid by himself. He was sent out to one of his uncles, which was a little crazy, and he used to be the watchman of a lighthouse. And so he didn't go to school or nothing. He stood the whole day looking at the ocean and thinking and processing information and trying to learn. You got to remember, back in the 1990s, 1992, 93, 94, 95, 96, I was a young man. And I don't think, let me know if you were born, how old were you guys? Write down how old were you in 1993. How old were you? Go ahead, write it down. I was whatever years old. I was not born. You just want kind of want to know who I'm talking to. So go ahead, let me know how old are you, or put the day you were born, or how old were you in 1993. So 8 years old. Wow, less than one. Oh my God. But so in '89, you were 3 years old. Wow, 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 wow. I was 18. Okay, you got some. You were a youngster at the time. Okay, you were my age. Okay, I was 21 at the time. Okay, you see a little older than me. 3 years old. Okay, yes. Wow. And you know, I tell you one thing, right? So Da Vinci used to spend time by himself, right, looking at the ocean. And these, you were 16, Core. I see that. Mr. Russell Price, my good friend. I love this guy. Our simple best. Thank you. I will read the messaging a little bit when he come up. Rasul Wash was 18. Okay, you were about the same age because I was about 19. No, I was about 22 at the time, and it was insane, guys. You know, when I understood that spending time, they said that his brain developed a lot by having the time and the inner conversation with themselves. Thank you so much. God bless the vision. Thank you so much. And when I was there thinking, I kept on thinking, I said, well, the people that are in the dogs compared to the people that are in the race cars, because I came from a, race car background. I was not a big race car driver. I was not a big race car team. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I was someone that wanted to become big time in race car driving, and I saw it to be a very difficult path, and I was going to it. I was going for it, but then I fell in love with the Pit Bulls, and then I had a choice to make, the race car driving or the dogs. And at one point, I thought I was going to do the two, but then I found myself walking these dogs so much that I said, why should I get in the car? So I really love the dogs, so I'm going to stay with the dogs. And I sold everything that I had with the cars, and I got rid of everything. And so one of the things that it was very interesting for me was that spending time, with the dogs. You were 26 at the time. I was 22, I think, or 21 at the time. So spending time with the dogs by itself, it was a wonderful experience. It's one of the most wonderful experiences I ever had. And so I understood coming from the cars. I was telling you that there were two groups of people, always two groups of people. When you enter any venue, when you enter football, let's say you don't know nothing about football, and you enter, boom, I'm only like football. I like Tom Brady. I like these. And you're gonna find two main groups: the ones that are doing it, and the ones that are talking about it. You're gonna find those two groups. So in the dogs, you had people that were talking about it, they were doing it, but they were at a very low level. So I look for those high level people. In other words, when you go into race car driving, when you go to, let's say, NHRA, which is drag racing, you're going to find guys like Warren Johnson, Eddie Hill, Bob Glidden, all the top stars, John Force, of course, the number one guy. And I was looking for that representation in the Pit Bulls. You didn't have it. What you had was the street level. When I enter in the cars, there is street level. I look at the street level, and I look at the guys who were a little bit above the street level, but was nobody right here. And the dogs were really good at this level. And I was in New York in the days when New York was the capital of American Pit Bull Terriers, right? Actually, it was reported in newspapers that it was the capital of Pit Bull Terriers. So at that particular point, I decided and I said, there's a tremendous amount of growth right now. There's an opportunity for growth for these dogs to go up in quality and become the best. And I kept on walking these dogs and kept on walking them and thinking about bloodlines. The beautiful thing is I didn't have the internet to get lost. When you go into the internet, you get lost. You start looking at people. You start looking at what this guy says, what that guy says, his opinion. And some of the people will want to hear everybody's opinion. And then they create what is inequality of opinions. So there's no growth. because everybody wants to be equal. When everybody is equal, there is no growth. Easy and simple. And I wanted to go higher and higher and higher. And I said, these guys, that guy is not better than this guy. That guy is not better than that guy. That guy is not better than that guy. The book of Bobby Hall got me something very special. And Bobby Hall came, the name of Bobby Hall came again in my life back in Thailand. I was in Bangkok, Thailand. And the great Captain Ben mentioned Bobby Hall and me on the same sentence on something that actually I asked him for permission and we recorded on one of our telephones. And one day I'll show this conversation with Captain Ben. But I don't want to talk about that now. What I want to talk about is the impact of that Bully Son and His Sons. Because, Bully Son and His Sons, the book was for sale on one of the magazines, so I bought the book. And when I read the book, and I need to get my phones. When I read the book, I need to get one of the phones, whatever has charge. Okay. And when I bought the book, I started reading the book, and it says, well, my dog was winning, my dog made a turn, and he was very nonchalant about dogs making a turn. And dogs that make a turn. He was talking about how good his dogs were, but dogs were making turns. Then in the world of New York City at the time, a dog making a turn was despicable, completely despicable. That was why New York at the time was really the top of the line. I mean, you got these great guys at the time, and when I look back at what they were doing, well, we did it so much better in Brazil some years ago. But for whatever they were doing at the time, it was very good for their times, and they were getting good results, right? And they were better than everybody or most of people around. And having a turn was not acceptable. That was an important lesson in my life. And I looked at the opportunity. I look at the dogs, how hot they will get very fast. You understand? Hey, Chico, existen Pit Bull de 30 kilos. No son comunes, amigo. No son comunes. And so I look at the whole thing, right? And I said, well, we got these guys here. They're supposed to be experts. And the dogs are getting hot in 20, 25 minutes. And it had to do with nutrition. It had to do with them finding the right weight, the process of cleaning the dogs. It had to do with vitamin B12. It had to do with them using steroids on the dogs. It had to do many things. And I was just a young kid, 21, 22 years old, looking and thinking to myself. And that was very important, that I was able to talk to myself a lot. I never forget, I still do. I love to have my walks. I walk with my dogs by myself. And thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, Mr. Russell Price. Russell Price, one of the guys that I want to meet first when the pandemic opens. I want to meet him in person. And because all the support that he puts to the channel. He puts a lot of support to all my social media. He's always there like a soldier. I consider him to be one of my teammates. Okay, Mr. Russell Price. So I was there thinking about, to myself, what I was looking at. I had a book that I just read a few times. The guy was happy with the dogs turning. The guy, they were called Bobby Hall dogs. He was building a legacy for himself, but he didn't have a family of dogs that was solid as concrete. Then I started studying Crenshaw. When I started to study Crenshaw, I started to see that he had a family, and I saw some of his dogs. Then I look at the ROM list, and I studied the ROM list, and I look at numbers, and I said, okay, Jeep is really sensational. But then I look at the data. And I look at the data, I look at that there were a lot of people using Jeeps, so the numbers matter. And everything you do, numbers matter, right? People play these games today on Instagram. You have guys sitting down on the couch and they throwing like a playing card, and there's a thing like that, and he'll throw it a million times, all of a sudden, pop, he catches, and make a video, and this is what it shows, and it's 2 seconds of fame on the internet, and it goes viral, because he did that. Or somebody is trying to do something, and the more you try, the many times you do it, the better it becomes, And so at the time, it was, for me, it was like, the more you do these, the more they try, the better it gets. But I'm going to be able to do all these in-house. I'm going to be able to hold these for myself and be able to to concentrate this on an on breeding program. So how will I start? And I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told a lot of people. All these ideas were in the back of my head. I call it my wheels. I have wheels spinning in the back of my head. A lot of the time, my wheels might be spinning. You're talking to me right now, and there's wheels spinning in the back of my head. And I get up, I walk, and all of a sudden, those ideas that were there come out to the front of my face, come to my front, they start talking to me, and all of a sudden, like, okay, this is what I've been thinking about. But I wasn't thinking about it, but my back wheels are spinning and thinking about these things, and they come to my front. It's a part of my brain that's working and saying those things. I'm pretty sure it happens to a lot of you guys. And so what I said was, I can make a change. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't really like into it. I had children, I had family, I had plans for other things in my life. And I had Bruno Boy, and it was a street dog. And this street dog was very special. It was my companion. I already bought a couple of puppies. I wasn't going to do anything crazy. And we were working hunch every afternoon with Ralph Reyes, Big Apple Bulldogs. And at this time, he was just Rafi. He was no famous guy. Nobody really knew about him except a few guys in the Bronx, which are very respectable men. But he wasn't famous because he didn't have Hunch, the son of Mayday. See, the dog made him very famous. And that was his one moment of greatness. It was Hunch. Hunch was a very solid dog and beautiful, amazing looking dog. And too bad he didn't turn out to be the producer that we all wanted him to be that producer. But when Hunch came in, you got to remember, the time was going by. Mayday was making a lot of noise, and by 1996, Mayday was Dog of the Year. And so he had Hunch, and he joined some guys from Long Island that actually were the original owners of Hunch, and they came over with this dog, and my friend had a dog of Hunch, okay, and come over with Hunch, and Hunch was young, and so we will start walking around Hunch and the process of schooling Hunch and so on and so forth. Guys, do me a favor, 29 people, 22 likes. Hit the like button, please. Let's get it up to even numbers. Do me a favor, just go, 30 people, just go ahead, whoever hasn't hit the like button, go ahead, hit this button like that, okay? Let's do that. I want to keep talking with you guys, but let's get those numbers up a little bit. Okay, I want to think that there's some good people looking here. I'm pretty sure some haters are here too. So I might have 20 friends, and then the balance will be 5 haters. Haters are always, the haters, they can't live without me, man. You know, they cloud chasing me. They can't stop thinking about me. They're like, this guy, I got a little film from Fat Bill, and he says that this, one of these homosexuals, this gay, that, you know, they raped the dog. He says that guy has a fixation for Chico Lopez. I don't want him to have any fixation for me. You have no idea. These so feminine guys, unbelievable. Hate, the word hate is heavy, you know. And haters, the feeling of it, like, oh, I hate you like a little kid. This is so feminine. It's so feminine. Real men don't hate people like that. So anyhow, let me go back. And so we're looking at this thing with Hunch and everything. And then Ralph is becoming very good friends with them. They come like once a month. They come in, bring some money or whatever, and some dog food. They're part of a team that I didn't know was forming. One day they're having a conversation, and they come in and they have these hats that says, you know, Big Apple had the picture of a pit bull, the classic pit bull with the clip ears. Imagine, those guys didn't know shit about dogs. And I mean, they knew Mr. Bill in Long Island, but they know Mr. Bill, they thought they were dogmen because of that. And so, which I love Mr. Bill, by the way, not saying nothing about him, but these guys, they're not bad guys, they were good guys, just didn't know shit about dogs, or didn't know much about that time. They come in and they give them the hats. And they're gonna have like a serious meeting, right? So I'm there, we just finished working Hunch and finished working Bruno Boy. We used to work Bruno Boy and Hunch all the way from 196th Street all the way to 131st, right by the highway. Coming through the traffic on the Grand Concourse. I was on a bike with Bruno, and Ralph was with Hunch in the back, and we'll go together. And they'll turn back around and then go up. If you know the Bronx, is going up all the way up. And we got these dogs working very hard. Too hard for my liking today. But these dogs, that's what they got. And so when when they came over and the meeting is going on, one of the guys said, "Listen, Chico, we gonna have a meeting right now, and we are part of this team. It's called Big Apple Bulldogs, and so you can't be part of the meeting. So can you excuse us?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And then they explained to me. I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand. Not a problem." I went home. And then the next day, Ralph came over and said, "Oh man, I didn't mean to these guys to tell you that you go, whatever, but stuff like that." And I said, "But these guys, they think that you have this street dog, you have no future, you know." And I said, "Really, no future? That no future, man." Oh man, that triggered something on me, and I mean, I went back and forth between Brazil and China. A lot of people don't know, when I lived in the United States, talking about 2000s, from Texas to Oklahoma, from Texas to New York to Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, going to California without missing a single state. Everything. This was my domain. I wasn't making too much noise. And it was very important for me to win, because if I lost, that was the only thing they would talk about it. The forums started to come up, the brand new forums. So I needed to win. And when I win, they wouldn't say a word. It was shh. But if I lost, it was a big noise. It's like when you ask people about Chico Lopez in the Balkans. "Oh yeah, he lost here. He lost to Kid." They can say the times I win. They don't talk about that. Why should they talk about it? Everything is based on that feminine feeling of hating and insecurity. So those are the beginnings and startings. And going back to the very beginning, a lot of the development, when I was going to go against this idea, and I went to the idea, there was a lot of self-talking and a lot of components: perseverance, never give up, never surrender, keep going forward. And I developed this sense of pit bull mentality. Tremendous today. We run the world in American Pit Bull Terriers at the high level. I mean, there's people that run the underworld of American Pit Bull Terriers, which is current dog fighting in America, which I'm not part of it. I'm against it, right? But there is other people that are just breeding dogs, mutts in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And there's some kennels selling their little dogs, and here, and then you have the guys with the little string showing dogs and dog shows, one show to here, whatever. They go back and forth. But it is incredible how we actually took the breed to another level. And whether you like me or you don't like me, doesn't matter, because what I'm doing right now and I have done, no one can say. I mean, I traveled to all these different countries in Asia, in Europe, all over Europe, all over the Americas, And I have traveled teaching people that didn't know what it was a real pit bull. They didn't know what was a real pit bull. The people that actually had some level of real pit bull, which means the dog has a pedigree, has some lineage, and can be connected to a pit bull, which is the idea of real pit bull. The idea of real pit bull ends on, having a dog that goes back to some pedigree, some connection, regardless of the quality. Regardless of the quality. It could be really, really trash quality. As long as it has a pedigree, it's real. And then there's the world of those people who don't have a pedigree. And then on the world of the ones that have the pedigree, you have the ones that have a pedigree that come in from some dogmen, some people that were doing some things, and the ones that come in from people that were doing just shows, jumping on walls and doing this stuff. Is that a real American Pit Bull Terrier? Is that the best of it? That is a question for yourselves. Is that it, the best American Pit Bull Terriers? And then there's a world of those who don't have no pit bulls, papers or nothing, no standards whatsoever. Somebody had a big old head, man biting type of dog, junkyard killer, and they bred him to some female that was nasty dog, maybe all deformed, bred them together, slapped them together, and make some puppies, and when they're small puppies, they're all cute, and they're selling them in the neighborhood. And then you have the backyard breeder, the upgrade from the bully, the upgrade from the dog without papers, now has papers. He contacted the breeder, the guy that's selling dogs, and now has breeder. Oh, I'm not a backyard breeder no more. I got papers. I got papers. I know how to use ibomec. I know how to do a chain setup. I know how to give my dog a bath. I know how to do a breeding. I know how to interpret a pedigree according to my ways. And of course, more importantly than everything else, this is important. I have a kennel name. I have a kennel name. And it took me a long time to create this kennel name. I wanted to call myself Just Me Kennels. The other guy came over and told me and says, I already have Just Me Kennels. So I came over and I said, I want to call myself Super Big Galaxy Global Kennels. But then another guy told me that he was Super Big Global Kennels. So I called myself Never Ending, Never Stop Kennels. And nobody had that word name, so I am Never Stop. And I do have these dogs with papers, and my dog has DNA profile. I want you to know that. That makes me a tremendous. I'm not a backyard breeder. It does have DNA profile. You know? It does have DNA profile. That was your kennel name. Imagine that. So, you know, and so it's not a backyard breeder no more, but still got the backyard set up and all that stuff, you know. Just Me Kennels. Look at that. Just me, man. Let me just tell you, just me. I got these dogs over here. You know, this one is like from some guy that got black dogs, and the other one has a quart of these and a quart of that and this, and the other one, by the way, hold on a second. I don't want you to get all out of line. This one is a pure Bolio dog. Pure Bolio. Like 129 times Bolio. Let me show you here. His name is Patrick Spirit. The legs like this. The dog look like this. Here you go. Meme for you motherfuckers. Look like this. Unbelievable, man. And so that's how, and you know, and now they're not backyard breeders. They graduated. And that's what you have, you know. You open it, a little thing here. Hey, guys, hold on 1 second. You're the boss, yes. 34 people, 30 likes. 4 people, you need to jump over, go like, hit the like button. Come on, let's go. So what happens is, we all enter the dogs in one point, guys. I too had a dog that, you know, hi Chico, this is Sebastian, you whatever. How are you doing? I'm doing amazing, my friend, Mr. Newman. And so we all started somewhere, guys. You know, some of us were able to develop some systems and learn and grow and stuff like that. Some others be lost for time. I don't want to bash on people anymore. I graduated. I'm not going to bash you for having a kennel name. I don't have a kennel name. I had one for the same reasons. For all the stupid reasons you might have one, I had one. But then I discovered that what was more valuable was my name. And if I build merits under this name, the name will be worth more to myself and to those who respect my cause. You can put that in a quote. Let's try to phrase it again, and you can put in a quote. I used to have a kennel name. It didn't mean anything. The dogs were nothing, common dogs. But then I decided to be somebody special. I decided to be me, the best version of me. And I took my name, and I built my name as a human. I became a doctor, an entrepreneur, family man, a respectable man, or just simply the most valuable man in history by being a man of honor and being a man of my word. And I own a real American Pit Bull Terrier. That is success, folks. That is success. That is success. Graduated with top honors. There we go. He's a Pit Bull. The Pit Bull mindset. So, you know, you got right now, you're looking at the baddest dogman that ever lived. I got better record than STP. There were 3 guys. I got better record than any dogman dead or alive. Mountain Men, much respect to all those guys. Mountain Men, Carver, who else you want? Crenshaw, better numbers by myself. And with all of that, with all the respect that I have for them, because I want you to know this, I want you to picture this. I have tremendous respect for all those men. But those men are not, most of them are not here, they're not alive anymore. And I am here in the years 2021. And let me give you a little secret. None of those guys that became great because they were hanging around with a bunch of fucking fools. They were not hanging around with those bums that you hang around on the forum, and you gotta check the forum, see what they post, and they're breeding these trash dogs, all this bullshit. They didn't. They were very similar to me. They were loners, lone wolves, and developed their own dogs and they observate and stuff like that. They like to go to see shows. I don't. They invited me so many times. Chico, this versus this, come over. We want you to be the man here. People want to see you. No. But just come over. We'll bring you. We'll pay you the ticket, first class. We know you like to fly first class. We know first class hotel. You come stay with me. I said, no, I don't want to go. Said, why not? You're a dog man. People want to see you. It's your duty. I said, no, it's not my duty. My duty is to educate the next generation. And so I'm talking to the next generation, to you. You that are 15, 20, 25, you're going to go to the future. There is no future. There's never been any great dogman that came out of the internet. Not one. STP, yeah, better than STP, of course. More grand champions, more self-made rum dogs, more dogs of the year, more times dogman of the year, more best in show dogs. Today there was a person that came over and said, see, your dogs are so good. Why your dogs are the best? You know, what are the credentials? Let me explain. I said, listen to me. I'm going to give you 5 dogs. When I give you those 5 dogs, you give me 5 dogs back. That's the deal. I give you 5 dogs. And you give me 5 dogs of yourself. Your dogs. You versus me. If you are not that man, and you cannot stand up with your own legs, but you're here, and assume that you want to do something. So you're going to pick the man you think is better than me, like you said, STP, and you're going to pick up a piece of paper, and I'm going to give you 5 dogs. And I give you those 5 dogs, you're going to give me 5 from that, yourself or that man, 5, of equal quality. When you give me the 5 back, I'm going to give you 10. 10 fucking dogs. And you're going to give me 10 back from the same man. I promise you're not going to make the first round. You're not. But if you do, and you go to the second round, which is 10, you're not going to make the second. I'll give you 20 after that. And you go thinking about, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Let's think about it. Let me define something to you. A rum dog is a dog that produces at least 3 or 4 champions. 3 if it's a female, 4 if he's a male. Best in show means that some really proper dogmen met in a place, and all of you guys, 36, 34, 36 and 36, bravo, thank you so much, 36 and 36. All you 36 show up, and I show up. You show me your dog. You show your dogs, I show my dog. And my dogs do so much better than yours that the people in consensus, or whoever is in power, says, Chico Lopez is the baddest motherfucker tonight. Him and his dog. That's what best in show means. Best in show means Siega the Great. You got to be a dumbass if you don't know who Siega the Great is. Two times best in show. Baddest motherfucker, isn't it? Siega the Great did it too. Siega the Great and Chilindrina, did it as well. Mechanic Buck did it twice. Best in show, 2 times show up. If you did not know this, if you didn't have understanding what best in show is, then you're not worth it. I'm going to give you a name of Mechanic Buck, for instance. Dog that I bred. He's a rum, 2 times best in show. So not only he was worth having, but he's worth producing himself. Pay attention. That's a very rare thing. Very rare thing. And then you have Dog of the Year. Many dogs come in the whole year. Many dogs. Out of all the dogs in the year, there's one dog. It's the baddest motherfucker. That's called the Dog of the Year. So remember the list I said about the 5 dogs? I'm going to start with global. Let me explain to you about what global means. 1992, guys are in Brooklyn and guys are in the Bronx. The guys in the Bronx says, I'm not going to drive all that far to Brooklyn. My dog will be tired. The trip, the car will lose weight. It's a disadvantage to me. If I travel from the Bronx to Brooklyn, they were correct. They were actually correct. So the guys from the Bronx says, well, it'd be the same to me. I'm not going to do it. So this particular situation is a real situation. They had a big problem. So they met somewhere in the middle, but both of them got stuck, each one on a different bridge, going to Manhattan. And while they're driving to Manhattan, one is calling the other one, saying, man, fuck you, I'm in the middle of the bridge, my dog, blah, 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 blah. They meet together. It was a big deal to travel. 20 miles, 10 miles, whatever the fuck they were doing. Global means getting into the microwave. A different continent and countries. It's not an easy thing. Global. This guy, Big Ragu, keep throwing names of different men. I said one man. One man. You throw in the name of so many dog men. I said one man. I haven't even started with the list. So I came back and I said, I go into the list now. Remember, Dog of the Year, Best in Show, Rum, and I just gave you global. Titles. Titles that magnify the quality of the dog. I start with one dog. Global Champion Copper Day Rum. That's my first dog. One of the time. One of the quality. Big Ragu says, so you're better than Air Tutor. A person that met Air Tutor, his name is Del Brastrom. And Del Brastrom is the man that wrote the Cajun Rules, and he's the man that wrote the ADBA standard or the APBT standard. He was a partner with Ralph Greenwood. He met him many, many times. They were best friends. And he wrote it in a piece of paper. He sent it to me actually by email, where he says that I'm the greatest man. And he explained why I'm better than all those guys by name. I have it. Listen, books will be coming up. So don't worry about it. Just because you see me young and still with black hair, don't worry about that. Talking to a freaking legend, guys. I'm going somewhere with this, by the way. Going somewhere. Don't feel bad that we're not at the same level. Open your ears, try to learn, and try to argue. And so we come in, and I gave you the name. Global Champion Copper Day Rum. Rum produced 3 champions. Rum. Same leader. Rum. This is the famous dog that is on top of a tank army vehicle in Ukraine. The Ukrainians told me, he says, Chico, don't come. Chico, don't come. How many grand champions did Floyd produce? How many grand champions did Floyd produce himself? How many dogs of the year he produced? I love Floyd. Don't bring him into this. You're not being fair to him. So I gave you, pay attention, because you want to run your mouth instead of paying attention. Gave you one name. Now I'm going to give you a second name. I'm going to miss it for you. Mechanic Global Champion Mechanic Buck Rum. Best in Show. Oh, Copper Day. Best in Show. I gave you 2 Best in Shows, 2 Rum Dogs, 2 Global Champions. That's what I just did. Now I'm going to give you another Global Grand Champion, Chilindrina, Dog of the Year, 2 times Best in Show, not a Rum. Global Grand Champion is Dog of the Year. So for the first time, on my 3rd dog, I give you a Dog of the Year. On the 4th dog, I'm going to give you another Dog of the Year, the greatest dog that ever lived, Global Grand Champion, Siega the Great, Best in Show 2 times, Dog of the Year, not a Rum. but Dog of the Year. Now I'm going to give you a third one. And I'm thinking, which one should I give you? But I'll give you the mother of the first dog I gave you. Global Grand Champion Copperhead Dog of the Year. On 5 dogs. Best in show 2 times. And the first 5 dogs I gave you. I gave you 3, she was 2 times best in show. Chilindrina was best in show twice. Siega twice. Copperhead twice. Mechanic Buck once. Copper Day once. I gave you 5 dogs, all of them best in shows. That means other people show up. And I was the baddest motherfucker. And I give you Rams. And I give you Dogs of the Year. I give you 5 dogs to any man in any time in history to stand up to Chico Lopez with the first punch of 5 dogs. There's no other man like me, my friends. I'm sorry. And I didn't grow up on forums. And I didn't have your mentors. And I didn't go to your school. And I'm not selling you dogs. So I'm not here because I want to sell you a dog. More than likely, 1 or 2 of the people that are here, if they call me, they might qualify to have a dog. So why am I doing this? I'm doing this for the next generation. The generation before you. The generations that were not born with a bully. Or were not born in the streets and said, well, yeah, man, the more thuggish you are, the better dogman you are. That didn't apply to Chico Lopez. Chico Lopez is not a thug. I'm different. Most of your heroes, thugs, dogmen thugs, cannot shine my shoes. So, what am I here? I'm here to inspire. I'm not here to punish you. I'm here to inspire you. And I hope that you understand that if you've been on the dogs for such a long time, there's no chance for you to become some bad motherfucking dogman. There's no chance. So why waste your time going to forums? Why don't you go out there, get yourself a career, become a doctor if you have the capacity, become a professional engineer, a professional mechanic, a professional plumber, become a man of your word. Go to a gym and start working on your physique and your body, becoming something better. Go to church and look for God. I just gave you the best thing. Go to church and look for God. There's no chance. Okay? The next generations, they'll learn that going to forums and waste your time and being in chats other than this one is a waste of your time. 50 people, 37 likes. I'm going to wait till we get to about 45. You start going and clicking until we get to 45. We'll continue talking. Oh my God, we've been here for 53 minutes, 54 minutes. So let's go to the little hand and click me gusta, I like it, and let's go. Folks, heavy duty, Chico Lopez came today with vengeance to help you grow and give you the great advice. Get off being with thugs and become great people. For you that follow the morons and the idiots, I have a doctor, it's called Dr. Agustin Laje. That Agustin Laje, yes, Crenshaw was a great dog and had a lot of champions. And so was Tudor, and so was Carver. I love those guys. Why it's not about to love them? Of course I love all those guys. I love all of them. Of course, I have no hate in my heart. I love all of them. I really do. I appreciate what they did that benefit me, and here I am. They did their part. I'm doing mine. The times today call for me not to sell dogs to any chump, but to put the dogs in the best hands possible. The times call for that. I am that type of a leader. Crenshaw was a great man. Let's not do nothing bad about him. Let's just leave him alone. He had his merits. Leave him alone. He was a great man. And for me, gets nothing but respect. If Champion Herd was better than Jeep, don't matter to me. If Honey Bunch father was Bolio or Ironhead or German Shepherd or Bullison, don't mean shit to me. This is who I am. I'm pragmatic. Those kind of shit doesn't mean nothing to me. I never waste my time. Never waste my time. As a matter of fact, I never read any article. Never read any article in that regard. That's how scientific, how pragmatic I was. Never read any article. So if there's some article that they really discover who he was, or he came and said, well, I'm going to confess, or, I take his word. Whatever he said is, that's fine. If Carver, right now out of his grave, will come in and say, Chico, I got this bitch right here, is going to be as good as producer as Honey Bunch, and her father was a Labrador, what am I going to say? It's Carver. I have that much respect. Maybe he's joking. I don't expect a Labrador to have those kind of capacities. Those are some serious production capacities, of course. But obviously the males have a lot to do with it as well, right? She failed many times, so she got bred to other dogs. So, folks, you heard a lot of great things today, and I hope you like them. Thank you so much for those that participated with your comments, whether they were good, whether they were smart, whether they wanted to go against me or my favor. Of course, the ones that come in my favor, I love you. The ones that came against me, you okay, my book, man. I have no hate for nobody. How about that? Carver was a con man when he came to selling dogs. Man, you're dealing with garbage people, man. When he was selling dogs to the swamp. So when you work with the swamp, you're working with criminals, with a whole bunch of garbage people. And those garbage people, from what my experience tell me, that those garbage people, you can sell them gold. You can sell them the pick of the litter and they'll make him a gay dog. So, what can I tell you, man? People talk shit about him, but they not him. People talk shit about Carver, but they're not Carver. You see, nobody told you that before. Nobody ever came and defended Carver the way I'm defending him now. Nobody did. Carver, they say, was a con. My friend Del Brastrom said they were at a meeting, and there was an Indian guy that he was very smart with his mouse, and he changed the paperwork on dogs. Imagine if you had a dog right now from Carver, and he changed the paperwork on it. You lick his boots to get that dog. So don't talk shit, man. Don't be like that. Don't use your brain, man. If Carver came right now and brought you a dog, being a con, being hanging papers, whatever, you will kiss his ass. You will kiss his ass. I promise you. Be pragmatic, man. You can't talk shit about somebody that's way better than you, man. Grow some culture that don't fall into the generation of morons and idiots. Don't do that. Don't do that. 44s and 41 likes. I think that's pretty good. I like it, guys. Thank you so much. It's 58 minutes. I'm going to answer maybe 1 or 2 questions more. I really appreciate the level of quality of you guys today, being polite for most of the part, not coming with any stupid questions. There's some stupid questions, to be honest with you. There's some, before I made the mistake to say there's no stupid question, but there's a lot of stupid fucking questions in the dogs. So I thank you so much for that, for the people that came over and show love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And, there's some of the guys that are doing some, how do you call these, chats. And I believe that for those that are or were dogmen and they did great things for the breed in the past, or they added value in some way, some other, I send you my love. For those that haven't added anything, unfortunately, I cannot send you my love. I mean, you shouldn't be talking about dogs. Chico, why do you... Let me see here. I got to read it here, guys. I got another phone here to read that because I'm not able to read it. It just come in my screen and go. So let me just take a look at it. I don't know if my wife is watching this. I wish she was. But we had guests. Mr. Lopez, wishing all family work. Thank you so much, my friend. I am off to work. Yes, my friend. Have a great day and a great time in your shot out there. I mean, your shot in your life, in your day, your night. Okay. So let me take a look at this here for a second. This was Mr. Russell Price. It's a good friend, Russell Price, by the way. Going to work, okay? Thank you for the live. Okay, let me see here. Gotta go here. Oh, okay, here we go. Chico dice, why do you go out of your way to help and guide people when people hate? That's a very good question from Grand Champion T. Tauros. I'm a great person, my friend. I had a great father, had a great mother, but more than anything else, I had great grandparents, and they guide me to be the man I am. Thank you very much for that. He says, Aldair Vegas, speak Spanish, bro, please. Bro Vargas. I will speak Spanish. I'm going to go to the Spanish now. I'm going to do it in Spanish right now. Okay, so guys, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Big Ragu, all the guys that participated here, Mr. Russell again, DJ Royalty, all you guys, the wise guys, the regular guys, the good guys, the bad guys, everybody, goodbye. My name is Chico Lopez. God bless you.